Okay, so we are now making the belt of truth. In this case, I believe it will be for the lower class because the upper classes have the leather craft, I believe. So when it comes to this belt of truth, you will basically need to make this, like, I do believe it's based on the Roman or the ancient what? Armor that they wore. So we have for this, depending on the age of the children or the number of children, there are two ways you can do this. They can have something that they will just carry, okay? Let me just get it explained and then you see what I mean by this. So they can either make one that they can carry or one that they can wear around their waists. So you need to decide, is it going, because I believe for the lower class it might even be something smaller, or it might be this, like this is just an A4 cut in half or something. Math and me are oil and water. So when it comes to this, you need to decide for the class you're having, are they going to carry it around, like they'll do the craft, the belt of truth, and then they'll carry it, or will they make it to wear? Because if they're going to make and they need to wear it, then that means this strip needs to be longer and these pieces need to be more, okay? So the basics are the same, but it is the length and the number of parts that will differ, and also the inclusion of the string or thread in this case, okay? I believe it's twine. Now you will have a piece of paper. It can be the same color, it can be different. In this case, I have embossed paper. I believe something firm would work, especially for the parts that either they will hold or they will wear, okay? So you have the pieces. In this case, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And then for now, I don't know, I did not get a similar color. I'm working with scrap paper that is around me, so whatever I'm able to use to utilize this. So in this case, you will have 2 pieces of paper, and I'll explain to you why. But basically, it's like to cover this, like to enhance that particular part such that it's not overly exposed, okay? So you need your I don't know what they will call them, but you have these parts, and then you have your embossed paper. This is manila paper, and then you have string. You should have glue stick. I do believe you have used your pair of scissors. You have used a pencil to trace out and all that. So the basics are, once you have decided, you now have the strip of paper, and then you will glue this to the hard piece of paper, or in this case the embossed paper. So because of time, I know you can staple and all that, but you just have, it goes up. So you're gluing the parts of the belt. I believe it's the belt of truth. So you have, and you can even look at the word truth, T-R-U-T-H, 5. So if they're able now to write the name or the word truth. So you just keep gluing. I believe in this case, them being close to each other, because I had tried to space them out, but I found it's much better if the pieces are close to each other and not too spaced out. But generally, even with the children, they might do it differently. So I believe you'll have the few exceptions where they are spaced out, okay? So you have that, okay? So now, as I was saying, so you have this. So this is the basic So you're having that. Okay, allow me to be up here. So that's what you have. Okay, now because this is exposed, you can get a similar color, okay, of red, but in this case I am using, like, just imagine this one was not long enough, but I know how to work around it. Just give me a minute. So that we can get the concept. So in this case you have that. So you're trying to secure these are the craft in general. So I prefer gluing on this side. There's usually two sides of an embossed paper, so I try to look for the one that is not too decorated. That's the one I glue, and then I will now reinforce the craft. Okay, so I needed to use red. In this case I am utilizing the different scraps around me to find a piece that, yep, that will work. In this case, this is for demonstration, so hopefully with the helpers you will have something continuous like the A4. If you just cut the A4, I believe it should be lengthwise, it should cut, but I've decided to do it this way so that you can get the concept of having different colors, because it brings out it adds a different dimension to the craft. So just imagine, this is now where you use the power of imagination. And let me just see, there's no need for me to cut it again. So you have it that way, okay, and already you can see what is transparent. So you are basically securing this. So at this point this will not be needed. So now you can have either the word truth, they can write with the felt pens, mark pens, or you can have pieces of paper, like they can either write belt of truth. So you're basically decorating this. Now if you want them to wear or like to look like a belt, this is my hole punch, kind of having some difficulties, but supposed to help me out in making there we go. So if you don't have the hole punch, you can have the paper punch. So what I'm doing, instead of just making one hole, it's best if you make two holes. Why two holes? Allow me to first do the hard stuff. Okay, so this is now for, I believe it will be longer for the children, but why it will be best if you have two holes is so that it can be easily reinforced. You know how children play with their craft? So if you just put the one hole, and that's why even this should be a little bit stronger, so it's not just manila. This is playing around as edges do. So you have it that way, okay? And then now on the other side, you have the other side, okay? And now, as I said, they should be longer, but they can now, if it was long, of which now you need to measure with the different type of the children you have in your class, it will be long, and they can tie it around their waists. So we have that. And you can either write the belt of truth, they can decorate it if they wanted to, or they can write the memory verse with their pencil. If the markers are available, then that. But this is the basic concept. If you get this, then you can now decorate it, and definitely let them remember to write their name so that nobody is taking any other person's craft. I hope that's self-explanatory. It looks like a fun craft. I especially like how it has come out, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy making the craft, and also that the children will do the same. Okay, thank you and God bless you. Bye bye.